Okay, so we've got the polynomial here, right? And we'll call it f of x. All right, it's px cubed minus x squared minus 31x plus q. Okay, and you'll notice here there's two unknowns, right? P and q, and it says that it has x plus 2 as a factor. All right, so that means then if x plus 2 is a factor, then if you think about it, that means then that f of minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so that's true, isn't it? But also, right, it says when the polynomial is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 36. So, when it's divided by x minus 1, as it says, the remainder is minus 36. So that means then f of 1 will be minus 36. Okay, so we've got two situations here. Right, that will help us work out P and Q. So if we consider the first situation here, right, we look at that to start with, f of minus 2 is 0. So if we put that in, we'll have P minus 2 all cubed minus 2 all squared, take away 31 minus 2 plus Q, that will equal to 0, yeah? Okay. Alright, and we can simplify that. That'll become minus 8P. This becomes, well, when you square that, you get 4, so it'll be minus 4. That becomes plus 62 plus q equals 0. So we get minus 8p plus q plus 58 equals 0. Okay. So then if we take that over the other side, we get minus 58. Okay. You could leave it like that. Might be tempted to change all the signs actually. So 8p minus q equals 58. Okay. Might make more sense that way in terms of later on. So we've got one equation, but now we can get a second equation from this result here, okay? And then notice then we'll have simultaneous equations, okay? So we'll have two equations together. So if we've got this then result as well, so it says f of 1 is minus 36. So if we put 1 in there, that will equal to minus 36. So we'll have an equation there. So that'll be p minus 1 minus 31 plus q equals minus 36. So p plus q will equal to, well, minus 36 there. That becomes minus 32. So when I take it over, it becomes plus 32. So p plus q is equal to minus 4. All right? So we've got an equation here, 1, an equation here, 2. And we could solve them then simultaneously. Now with 2, what I could do is rewrite it to say, look, p is equal to minus 4 minus q, yeah? So I can take the q over to the other side, okay? And I could sub that then into 1, okay? So if I sub this into 1, well, 1 is here, isn't it? So I'll have 8 minus 4 minus q equals 58. So I'm subbing p in here, minus 4 minus q, and then I get, then we'll multiply that out, minus 32 minus 8q minus q minus 58. This will be minus 9q. Take the minus 32 over, becomes a plus 32, so I get 90. So that means then q will equal to 90 divided by minus 9, which will equal to minus 10. Okay, so I got my q out. To get p then, just sub it in 2, right? So sub into 2. So I get p minus 10 equals minus 4. P then will be 6. And that's the result the question's asking for, isn't it? Show that p is equal to 6 and q is equal to minus 10. So we've proved that there. Okay? There's a solution using simultaneous equations. Then it says then to factorize it. Okay? So we now need to factorize f of x. The good thing is, right, here, 6x cubed minus x squared minus 31x minus 10. The good thing is we know x plus 2 is a factor, don't we? Okay, so I can have that as a factor. We just need then two other brackets. Of course, those two other brackets multiplied will be a quadratic. So I know I'm going to have 6x squared there, because there's a 6 here, plus then bx plus c. Okay, so then when I expand this, if we look at the constants to start with, okay, so I got minus 10 here. That will equal then to 2c, won't it? When I multiply that out, 2 times c is 2c. That implies then that c has got to be 5, yeah? or minus 5 rather, because minus 10 divided by 2 is minus 5. If I equate the x squareds then, I got minus 1 there, haven't I? Minus 1 in front of the x squared here. To get x squared here, well, I'll do x times b, x, which is b, and 2 times 6, here, 2 times 6, which is 12. Okay, and that implies then that b has got to be minus 13. Okay, so I get then my 2 brackets fulfilled, x plus 2 here, 6x squared there, minus 13x minus 5, alright? So I'm then going to need to put these into 2 brackets, so I'll put 6x in front of both brackets. Okay, and remember then I need to divide by 6 using that method. So what pair of numbers are they? Multiply, add. So you need to multiply to give minus 30, yeah? Because 6 times minus 5 is minus 30, and add up to give minus 13. So those two numbers, now be careful here, because you might be thinking 10 and 3. Okay, but 10 and 3 won't actually work, because for them to add up to give minus 13, 10 and 3, they both need to be minus, wouldn't they? Minus 10 minus 3 to give minus 13, but when you multiply these it won't give minus 30. Okay, that doesn't work. But the other pair will be 15 and 2. That will work, minus 15 plus 2. Okay, so minus 15 plus 2. Both brackets then have factors, in fact, so I can take 3 out of this bracket, and I can take 2 out of that bracket, all over 6, so then you can see then the 6 will cancel then with the 3 and the 2, so I end up then with 3 brackets. Okay, and I factorize it. Don't need to solve it, we factorize it and it's job done.